Yo, welcome back to Prison to Promise. I'm your host, Dr. Craig Waleed, and today's conversation is about what it really takes to turn a second chance into a sustainable future. You heard? I'm joined by the good brother Kevin Palmer, founder of 18 WHEELIN CDL Training, whose own journey from incarceration to the open road shows how access to opportunity can change the entire trajectory of life. Kevin shares how trucking became more than a job, it became a pathway to stability, dignity, and purpose. We talk about why reentry has to be more than employment, the real barriers returning citizens face in a highly regulated industry, and what it takes to support long term success beyond just getting a CDL. Most importantly, Kevin helps us rethink what success looks like 1, 3, and 5 years after incarceration. This episode is about work as restoration, opportunity as justice, and building pathways that don't just lead out, but lead forward. Let's get into it and let's go here on the Prison to Promise podcast.
Okay, cool, man. First and foremost, bro, I want to say thank you. Thank you for meeting me on this platform.
No
Um,
problem, no problem.
I think it's very important that we capture the voices of us who are formerly incarcerated. Um, and so just for looks like you're in your truck. So
Hey, man, listen, I wanted to be in the office.
yeah,
I wanted to
yeah,
be, I wanted to be in the office.
yeah, I could dig it. And so, yo, let's just jump right in, man. And so
Okay.
maybe just for people who have never met you, who have never heard your voice, maybe you
Okay,
can
cool.
who you are, where you're from, and what you about.
Cool. Like I said, obviously my name's Kevin. They'll probably see that from the thumbnail, man. But like I said, just a regular guy, man. Ended up, you know what I'm saying, getting wrapped up in the wrong situation. You know what I'm saying? Went to prison about it's probably been out about 10 years now, so I beat the statistic.
Hmm.
Um, And then once I got out, or once I was on the way to getting out, pretty much again, like everybody else is on the way out, man, looking for what they're gonna do next.
Yeah.
Mine just happened to be matter of fact, I'll say before I even went to trucking, mine was I ended up getting a work release job. Like I
Hmm.
said, the one that, you know what I'm saying, that you get, you know what I'm saying, with good behavior when you're down to maybe like your last maybe year or something like that right there.
Yeah.
So I got the work release job, and then when I got out, it just wasn't paying the bills, man. Let's just be honest, man. So I ended up I think my old lady, if I'm not mistaken, man, ended up pretty much telling me. I told her I was interested in going to trucking school, and actually the day of when I was going down to get into the class, actually I was going to pay, and she told me that it was a spot in Greensboro, which is where, you know what I'm saying, where I'm from. She pretty much it was a spot called what was that spot called in Greensboro over there on Raleigh Street, almost like a job corps, job link type of thing. It's
Hmm.
one of them spots there, you know what I'm saying? They end up paying for it, man. And the good news is the reason why they paid for I qualified for it was because I had been to prison, man. So like I said, I did the trucking thing, got into that, and just started building a life from there, man. Like I said, it was able to pretty much, you know what I'm saying, give me a sustainability, you know what I'm saying, to be able to, take care of the family, do the things I needed to do, travel, man. And I took that thing all the way to buying 3 trucks and moving out of the state all the way down here to Florida, man. Yeah, yeah.
That's dope, man. So it sounds like trucking is what gave you a second chance in some
Abs-
regard.
a- Absolutely, man. Absolutely. It's like I said, it's a felony job. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to me, I would say it's fairly easy. You know what I'm saying? We get paid to pretty much travel, look out the window. Now, don't get me wrong. It's like any other job. It has its downfalls to it. You know what I'm saying? Especially the over the road guys.
Yeah.
You're away from home and all that kind of stuff. You're sacrificing that time.
Mhm.
Um, your sleep is kind of you know what I'm saying? So you kind of got to force yourself to kind of get out and be a little healthy and kind of move around a little bit to keep yourself healthy and stuff like that, man. But as far as, you know what I'm saying, being able to get back on your feet, especially from, you know what I'm saying, coming from where we come from, hey
Yeah.
man, it's a good gig, man. It's a really good gig.
Dig it, man. Dig it. And thanks for sharing that piece. And so if you could, man, maybe um take us back to maybe a point when you realized that trucking was a pathway to stability and purpose. Like how did you realize, okay, this is what is going to help me find the stability I need?
Okay, bet. I would even say that wouldn't be as far back as even 10 years. Cause don't get me wrong, when I got into trucking, I I liked it. I didn't love it. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I liked it. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, like I said earlier, I go to different cities, all of those things. When I started to realize it was more like a path to stability, because even then I wasn't realized, I was like, am I really going to be able to sustain it this way? And it isn't going to be something stable that I'm willing to do for the long term.
Yeah.
So as of, let's just say, maybe within the last 4 years, man, I got to the point of realizing that something that I realized that I can do for the long term is teaching and being a mentor to people that's coming out.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That way right there, I still have all of my time, still in the trucking industry, being
Yeah.
able to share all my information and being able to pretty much, you know what I'm saying, change people's lives that pretty much have that are pretty much almost stuck. I talked to a brother last night, man. Also I met on LinkedIn, man. He'll probably go do some other things, but he was even saying, I was like, man, listen, he was like, I'm interested in getting my CDL license. I was like, well, that's no problem. I could do that. I was like, well, hold up. Do you have a felony or anything like that? He hung his head, was like, man, yeah, I do. You know what I'm saying? And I asked him, I said, brother, listen, the reason I asked you was not to disqualify you, but I was
Yeah.
asking so it'll qualify you because, like I said, you pretty much having that felony background the same way I had it is what qualifies you for the program. So I
Probably
could pretty much train you. Say again?
that probably blew him away.
Exactly, man. So I could train you for free and all of that kind of stuff, man.
Yeah.
And so that right there, as of recently, I'll say that's when I kind of found my path to stability. Like this is something that I can say I would enjoy doing for the long run, because again, it can open up so many doors. Trucking just happened to be an avenue of, you know what I'm saying, of revenue. You know what I'm saying? I'll still have the mentoring aspect and all of that kind of stuff, and maybe even a book or something like that right there. I started to realize that I had more in me than just trucking. It was just a good stepping stone. And that's usually what I try to tell people. Use it as a good stepping stone, man, because you can about lose yourself out here, man.
Absolutely, man. But that's what I think most people coming out of prison need, some sort of stepping stone, and some
Hmm.
help to identify what those stepping stones are, and some help identifying what their own true gifts are to use as a stepping stone.
That's right. And usually what I tell people, I say use this money to pretty much figure out exactly what you want to do. And don't get me wrong, I'm not telling people to sacrifice their home life because they've been gone. You know, some guys been gone 10, 15, 20 years. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But if
Yeah.
you're coming out, but again, I did time with a lot of guys that had no family, no nothing. I said, bro, if you coming out like that right there, don't go and get one yet.
Yeah.
Go home, get in this truck. You can live in it. I got this curtain closed right now, but there's
Yeah.
two beds back there, a refrigerator. You know what I'm saying? You can hook up a TV and these things and everything. These people will pretty much, you know what I'm saying, pay you. And technically, what I'm telling my nonprofit partners is that trucking, the way I do it, it satisfies two things. It satisfies your employment and your housing situation. You know what I'm saying?
Because you
Imagine doing that right. Say again.
got an apartment there.
That's what I'm saying, man. And you realize when you're in this truck how little space you actually need. You
Yeah.
realize you don't need that much space, man. You don't
Oh,
need
shit.
that much space.
Living in a cell lets you know that too,
And that's a fact.
or a
That is
cubicle.
a fact. That is a fact right there. That's
Yeah.
a fact. So, hey, listen, so if anybody get out and say, man, this place too small for me, you be like, where you just come from?
That's right.
Where you just come from?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
It's a step
yeah,
up.
you're absolutely right. So being able to save, this man, again, imagine being able to save. Right now, my rent is, you know, say $2,000 a month. Imagine just being able to save $2,000 a month for a whole year. That's in 1 year.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
you can go do what you want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just a minimum $2,000 a month. Of course, like I said, with trucking, it'll pay you a lot more than in a month. You'll be able to sock away a lot more than that, man. But you come off the road and be like, hey, this is not what I want to do. But now I got something I can pretty much, you know what I'm saying, go and invest in. Because I'm just one of those firm believers that it takes money to make.
It definitely do, man. And we all need that step up, that hand up, that assistance. But as you know,
Right.
comes from within too. So if a person has all the opportunity put out in front of them, but they don't have the drive to go forward and do the right thing, as my mother and those used to say back in the religious community I grew up in, to have a
Uh,
right mind. If you don't have a do right mind, no matter how many opportunities you get, if you don't have that do right mind, you ain't gonna do right. You
that's
know.
exactly right. That's exactly right.
But you talked about, training, man, training people. And, I did a little background research on some of your work. And
Okay.
correct me if I'm wrong, but I think your if it's an LLC or your training agency, is it called 18 Wheeling CDL?
That's it. That's it. That's it. 18 with a CDL Training LLC. That's exactly right.
Yeah. And so through this kind of training, as you and I know, gainful employment helps people or helps reduce recidivism, you know. But I
Mhm.
think you're offering more than just a license. You're offering the future. And I was reading something, or maybe I was writing something the other day, and it was talking about when people have a future to invest in, it lowers recidivism, it strengthens communities, it strengthens families, et cetera, et
I
cetera.
agree. I agree.
But aside from a job, man, a gainful job at that, or a gainful career, not just a job, um, what are some of the key supports you think formerly incarcerated people need beyond technical training to actually succeed?
Oh man, like I said, a lot of people I would say, man, because I've done other interviews and people ask me about certain things, and I was like, man, we didn't have that, man. And as I get older, man, I'm starting to realize it, man. I know this is the term I'm going to use. It's getting tossed around a lot, man. But the mental health, man, some of us need to pretty much go sit down with a therapist.
Yeah,
You
man.
know what I'm saying? Because we all got personal stories of say experiences that we've had, or
Mm.
just experiences that we've observed,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, that are not considered normal. You know what
mm,
I'm saying? Like, I consider myself coming from a good family.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, my old lady light skin. You know what I'm saying? They look different.
yeah, absolutely.
So you can imagine the stuff that I could tell her that I've seen in these institutions and stuff like that, man. So I would definitely say some type of mental health like what do they call it? Like therapy or something like that. I would definitely say we would definitely need that. I would say, let me see, what else, man? Some of us may even just need just a confidence booster, man. Just, you know what I'm saying? Just the, and I guess your mental health therapist would probably, you know what I'm saying, kind of could do that same thing or something like that right there. Or just, I don't know, man. But some of us definitely need to start there. I would say that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That'd probably be my biggest thing that I would say.
And I think you hit it right on the head, man. We have to be mentally, psychologically, emotionally sound. Without that, nothing else matters, man.
That's right. That's right.
One of the points I focus on with avoiding recidivism is developing emotional intelligence. And again,
Okay.
that's to do with that mental health, that mental wellness.
That's right.
Identifying my emotional self and that of other people, and being able to positively manage my emotions as well as other people.
Mhm.
So we need that, and everything else flows from that. So I think you hit the, I hit, if using a baseball analogy, you hit the ball out the park, yo. You
Yeah,
know,
man. I think it would definitely start there, man. That's like one of those things you have to usually when you're dealing with a therapist, it's almost like coming home to, like, let us say, let me use this person as like a mental detox, man. It kind of detox all of this grind that I pretty much got on me, you know what I'm saying, throughout the years, however long you was there, man. And then we kind of start with a clean foundation after that.
yeah, and I think that's important because, as you mentioned, many of us who've been incarcerated, we have our own traumas leading up to incarceration. Many of
All right.
us incarcerated have, high ACE scores, which is for people who are listening, adverse childhood experience scores. Many of us have
Okay.
had those, and many of us have witnessed, even if we haven't been the victim, we've witnessed all types of trauma before going to prison as well as being in prison. So that
That's right.
trauma twists the way we think and the way we behave. So
And
therapy,
a lot of us don't even realize, man, that sometimes that trauma that you witnessed before prison, you'd
mhm,
be surprised, man, that you know what I'm saying, it may have been that shadow in the background that kind of led you down that path. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? You never know, man. I got a partner of mine that kind of said that he's think that's a little bit of, you know what I'm saying, responsible for the reason why, you know what I'm saying, he kind of maybe spiraled out of control a little bit.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
And I think as Black people, particularly Black men, we've been taught, or men in general, but I'm speaking about us, um,
Mhm.
just even specify it to just men or people who are in prison, we've been taught to be tough. And then, when you're in prison, it's certain emotions you just cannot expose.
That's
You
a
don't have
fact.
the latitude or the room to explore those, or else you'll get victimized. So you have to continue to stop those things, and that's not.
That is a fact. Man, it's funny you say that, man. I told my old lady that's probably about maybe a few weeks ago. I said, as Black men, we don't get the benefit. You absolutely right to show, the lack of a better word, a feminine energy. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? In a sense, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, we're rarely able to cry. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes not just on the outside. Some men can't even pretty much cry around, you know what I'm saying, their family, their wives, and you know what I'm saying. This is supposed to be a second again. You're the black man. You're supposed to be tough, man. So I try to consciously, you know what I'm saying, when I'm dealing with my son,
Mhm.
I try to hug him every time I see him, and I may kiss him on the forehead or something like that right there. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying?
Same.
Let him know like your dad loves you enough to the point where I'm not too cool to
That's
show
right.
you that type of energy. Because again, and I want you to continue to spread that, you know what I'm saying? So he may have a son or something like that. Of
That's right.
course, we all like that with our daughters and stuff like that, man. But we as black men, yeah, we need that, man. Because I remember growing up, like you said, in the South, and stop that crying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
They cry.
saying? You know what I'm saying? And you could have been 5 years old. You weren't even allowed to cry then.
Yeah.
You know
And
what
you
I'm
hurt.
saying? So that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Well, why you crying? I'll give you something to cry about.
Oh, hey, oh yeah, we all heard that one.
Yeah.
You
Yeah. Yeah.
all heard that one. Exactly. Exactly.
They did it, I guess, with the intention of making us more sturdy or more stand up. I'm not sure, but I think in
Uh-huh.
it harms many of us, and it continues to harm us being tough. That tough guys,
That's right.
GUISD.
That's
Putting up
right.
like I'm tough. But I was on a call the other day, and we were talking about one of our colleagues who got snatched up by ICE, and the brother, as he was talking about it, he started crying. You
Oh
know,
man.
it was a virtual call, and we couldn't see his face, but you could hear it in his voice. I started tearing up, and I said, "Yo,
Right.
man, I'm starting to tear up." And he was like, "Yo, go ahead and cry." And then other people was like, "Yeah, go ahead and cry." I'm like, "I am, yo."
All
And
right.
there's yeah, real men cry. We need
That's
to be
right.
able to cry. You know? But let me take it back to trucking, man, if I could for
Yeah.
a minute, because I know that this is your jam. But I know like trucking is full of all kind of rules, man. Background checks, insurance hurdles, bias from employers sometimes. But what do you think are some of the maybe systemic barriers to returning citizens, man? When they what are some of the should I say what are some of the barriers you think people coming out of prison face when pursuing a CDL? And how have you learned to help
Mo-
navigate that challenge?
oh, Mostly what I pretty much ran into that people are pretty much running to that may be a barrier when they're coming out of prison is a lot of them, depending on what they were in prison for and how much time they were there, is just getting their regular license.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Just getting back on track and just getting that regular license. Once we get past that right there, now we start to deal with just the regular things that pretty much coming out as a felony, those hurdles are in general. And the
Yeah,
funny thing is, even with trucking, just because you have a CDL license, like you said, I know that you mentioned the word some of them are kind of biased against it, that you having that felony. That still exists in the trucking industry as well. They said when I first got out here, I probably went through now again, there are hundreds of maybe probably thousands of probably few thousands of trucking companies out here. But I want to say the first few of them I went to was denying me because of the background, and it just shocked me. And I was like, "Who's driving a truck?" You know what
right,
I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm
right,
saying? But like I said, we still go through those same things. But again, I would still say it's one of those things where I would put the success rate a lot higher
mm,
there than, you know what I'm saying, possibly even Walmart or something like that right there. I would put and on top of that, the rewards are a lot different. You know what I'm saying? You making a lot more money and stuff like that. But as far as barriers, like I said, it's still the same. It's still
yeah,
the same. Like it's still looking at that felony background, and sometimes it's like yeah. And also it depends on what the background is. Now, if you was on the streets, that landed you in prison for trafficking or something like that right there, they're probably gonna be like, yeah, maybe not. You know what I'm saying? This is the transportation job.
mm,
Uh, Usually anything dealing with children and stuff like that, we don't have to talk about, but we know. Uh, they're kind of definite against anything like that. But besides that, I'll say usually 85% of them are willing to hire you, and it's not sometimes not so much as the trucking company that doesn't want to hire you because at the end of the day, let's be honest, they don't care. They just want you to move the freight. It's
right,
usually it's usually the insurance company that insures them.
mm,
They're the ones that you usually kind of got to jump through some hurdles with. But like I said, usually not too much. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I'm sure we could probably do a poll, man, and it probably out of 10 truckers on the road right now, probably 60% of them probably are felonies.
wow,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah. I remember, man, doing my time back in the '90s in New York, and they had a couple, maybe just one facility that was training people in heavy equipment operation and truck
Uh-huh.
driving. And I tried to get get over to that facility to get some training because I wanted to be a truck driver. I saw that as a viable path.
Oh, they
Post,
was training you guys at the on the yard at the prison.
yeah, at one prison, but
Oh
I didn't have
wow.
the opportunity to get shipped there.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, New York different.
yeah, it was way different back then. But this was in the '90s, and so
Okay,
I've been out of prison almost 30 joints. I think this December will be 29 years for me. That
man. Congratulations, brother.
thank you, man.
Congratulations.
But
Congratulations.
I thank you, brother, and congratulations to you on that dime.
Right, exactly.
Out beyond 5 years, man, is a big hurdle.
That's what-
You
that's
know,
right.
one of the things that I've seen in some of the research I've done in the past is that more people have been going to prison for violations of their parole conditions than people have been going to prison for new charges. You know,
Wow.
yeah. I don't know if it's still like that, but I know it was like that, like maybe
Like I said,
5 years.
yeah, man. I believe it or not, man. I don't know a lot of people. Like I said, I probably had a handful of guys when I got out of prison that we kind of kept in contact with. Like
Hmm.
I got one homeboy. He'll probably see this. He probably the only one that I know. It wasn't even. I don't think it's even a parole violation. You know what I'm saying? He just had still a little knucklehead left in him. But
Yeah.
as far as anybody else, I don't even know anybody that came out on even parole violations. I mean, excuse me, actually on parole for them to even violate at all. Yeah.
Okay.
So I wouldn't even know it.
So most people came out with no paper.
Yeah. Most people that I know came out with no paperwork. Yeah. Yep.
And then, you mentioned your homeboy too, and you say he still got a little knucklehead in him. Um,
Uh-huh.
and some of that might, stem back to, his own history of trauma. But also what comes to mind even more so is that crime is a young man's game, and so the older we get, we tend to phase out of committing crimes and thinking criminally
Right.
and
Right.
try to get more stable. There's a
That's right.
term called desistance, and desistance speaks right to that, phasing out of the criminal identity and phasing more into the identity of a law-abiding citizen, whatever that might look.
Okay. I like that term. I never heard that term before.
Yeah, some people think I'm talking about resistance, but it's desistance.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I've never heard that term before. Yeah, well, hopefully he's phased now because he's at that age.
Yeah,
Every
yeah,
time I talk to him, he in there now. I'm like, bro, come on, man.
yeah,
Don't quit
yeah.
giving these folks your time.
You get about
Quit giving these
5, you
folks your
start
time.
decisions, man.
Huh? Say it
That's,
again.
you get about 35, you start making better decisions.
Hey, man. Hey, listen. He over the hump. He should. He should. It's
Uh,
about that time.
uh,
About that time.
DMX once said, bad decisions lead to last decisions. Now your ass is missing.
Ooh,
You know?
ooh,
Yeah, yeah. That
ooh.
was it.
Last decisions. Ooh.
Yeah, bad decisions lead to last decisions.
Wow, and that could mean so many different things, man. That could mean a bad decision. You can pretty much go up out of here. That could mean a bad decision where they didn't give you pretty much life in the joint.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, ooh,
Yeah, but bad decision definitely leads to bad outcomes. We know that.
right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
But yo, let's think about because we're coming up near almost the end of our time together.
Okay.
This is a great conversation. It seemed like I've known you forever, just the way we're flowing. But that happened when we first got on the jack.
For
When we
sure. For
started.
sure. For sure.
But thinking about the success after incarceration, and maybe redefining success after incarceration. Um, when you look at people coming through your program, or any other programs for that matter, um, what does success really look like? Maybe 1, 3, or 5 years down the road, and what
All
keeps
right.
you to doing this work?
All right. Cool. Now I'll answer it two ways. Like I said, for me, um, it looks like more time. And it's one of those things to piggyback up where you said when you start to get older, man. Mine's is having more time.
Hmm.
Like, man, so that's what's and when I say more time, I mean more time with family and stuff like that. Like I said, my old lady, she in the back. You know what I'm saying? Any time that I can spend well, you know what I'm saying, with my kids and my old ladies, man. Listen, I still got piles of letters that my kids sent me when they was like babies and stuff like that, going through kindergarten. They're still in my closet that I still can't open.
Wow.
Like, bro, I still can't even look at them. You know what I'm saying? Because that reminds me of that time when I wasn't there. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? When they sending you little coasters and they handwriting just barely able to, you know what I'm saying, make letters and words, bro. That was a rough time. That was a
Yeah.
rough time. So my success now looks more like how much time can I get with my family. Now, everyone else's success, you know what I'm saying, could mean something different. And don't get me wrong. Like my homeboy Dev also said, he said, man, you a business guy. He's because he's always one of those guys. He just pretty much I guess working in the purpose. Me, hey, listen, where's the money?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So don't get me wrong. I'm all for that. But again, more than that, the time. I'm the person that I can have a job that makes $250,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can do something for myself,
Yeah.
hey, brother, I'll take 100. Just,
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying? Just to say, hey, listen, this is for me and I have my time.
Yeah.
That 250 comes with control and, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, you can give me $1 million. If I ain't got time to, you know what I'm saying, enjoy it with the people that I love and all that kind of stuff. Like, bro, what is it?
And so
So
it's the real freedom too, brother.
I
You know,
agree.
the time and the opportunity to do what you want to do.
That's right.
Just pursuing money, and you got goo gobs of money, but you don't have time to enjoy it.
That's
Enjoy
what I'm
what you're
saying.
really not free. You just rich.
That's what and at the same time, life is passing you by.
Yes,
And
sir.
the whole time you chasing that, man. After a while, man, like I said, you'd be surprised how much information and just knowledge of stuff you come into as you get older. It's getting to the point now where I'm starting to ask I'm like, yo, how much do you really need?
Yeah.
If you really look at your number and be like, okay, cool, this is how much my fixed income on my bills are, this, that, and the third, and a little bit of income. You don't need that quote unquote, or you know, especially us black people, oh, I need to be a millionaire.
Yeah.
You don't even need that, man. I heard this guy, and I keep telling everybody the same story, man, that he said, man, you know what keeps people from $1 million once they finally get into their purpose and start figuring out things and making money? What keeps people from making $1 million once they get to $500,000 or $250,000? You know what I'm saying? You realize, yo, life is great here. Do I want to do this extra work and sacrifice this extra time just to get to this number where things are great here?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, success for me is about time, whether they be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Now
Yeah.
somebody else is probably gonna have you know what I'm saying, a different, you know what I'm saying, answer for that. You know what I'm saying? Especially the guys I train. They're thinking that they can buy that time back, man. That ain't gonna work by running out and trying to gain a bunch of stuff monetary and third. So yeah, mine would definitely be just time, man. Because even a guy when I was in prison, he slept next to me. He said, when you get out, enjoy your time. He said, because now I see people get out of here after doing whatever amount of this and the third, and they start wasting. Or he said, they'll get out and they'll be dead the next day. Like the next day. You know what I'm saying? Just thinking that, oh, okay, I got so much time. And he was saying, don't waste your time, even while you're in here.
That's right.
Don't waste your time because you're assuming that everybody assumes after their bid, all of a sudden life starts again, or it was going on here. You were just spending the time here.
That's right.
You know, but yeah, well that's it. Like you said, it's time.
It's an investment, man, our time. And two things come to mind as I listen to you. One is like I was envisioning a river. You know, and rivers, they run, they move. So you never can get the same river twice. And that's life. Life is like a river. It just keeps going on stream. It
That's
doesn't
right.
still. So you can't get back that piece of the river or that piece of that time that's passed you by. You got to jump
That's
in
right.
right where you stand and start swimming, start doing your thing right there.
There you go.
But then another thing that hit me is that time that you lose or that pursuit of money, the time you lose while pursuing money. I used to work with this older guy. He's older than me or you, probably old enough to be our biggest brother.
Okay.
Not quite our dad, but he said, yo, he said, don't spend all your time working. He said, especially if you got kids. He said, because he spent all his time working and he
Mm-hmm.
missed all of his daughter's special events and whatnot. He said they had everything they needed financially,
That's right.
house, clothes, cars, food, all that stuff, tuition. He said, but I didn't get to enjoy it with them. He said, then when the time came and I tried to, slide up and get close to my daughters or whatnot, there was a divide there. They didn't know me
Right.
well, and I didn't know them well because
That's
my time
right.
was dedicated to working. He said, I didn't have to
Right.
work as hard. And so I took that to heart. And so I started finding different ways to work, to bring in different streams of money, but still allow me to have time to be with my children. Yeah.
And with this economy right here, you got to get creative with, you know what I'm saying, figuring out extra ways to make money. You're going to have to, you know what I'm saying? Because going to somebody's pretty much, you know what I'm saying? And again, I'm not knocking anybody's job or however they make money, because I mean, that's what I do as well. You know what I'm saying? But that's not to say going to somebody's job, oh my God, this is going to solve all my financial issues.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? This economy pretty much, bro.
Yeah.
You in three other situations going on, so you might as well get creative and figure out something that you can pretty much do and balance your time out.
Yeah. Right on. Right on. So, bruh, one last thing I want to ask you, well, a couple of last things, but
Okay.
is there anything that I didn't touch on, or anything that you want to touch on that I didn't lead us to, that you want listeners to know or hear?
Mostly, what I would say is, not to turn this into an ad, but they can pretty much reach me online. Like I said, I'm on Instagram. The number 18, HTEENWHEELIN. That'll be for any of your trucker, you know what I'm saying, listeners like that right there. They can pretty much connect with me there. Um, Also on LinkedIn, the Kevin Palmer, and anybody that I don't know if they hearing this from prison or something like that, and they're coming to the state of Florida, reach out to me on any one of those platforms. And like I said, I can get you into the industry.
Right.
If this is what you're pursuing, I can get you into the industry, and you can be making money within a month.
Kevin,
You
you
know
were
what I'm
right in my head, bro, because I was gonna go there next. So when you
saying?
said
Okay,
not
good,
to an ad, that is where I was going next. How can people
good,
reach? You know?
good,
And
good.
so one last thing then before we close it out. Thinking about your journey, bro, your
Mhm.
life's journey from wherever you want to start to where you are now. If you were to give that journey a title or a catchphrase to capture your journey, what would that title or catchphrase be?
Uh, Trudge through.
Trudge through.
I say trudge through.
Mm,
And you know the word trudge, and I get to it at the end. The word trudge kind of just means kind of like almost like if you was walking through like let's just say some deep, let's say up to your calf mud or something like that, and you just kind of just got to continue just to trudging through or something like that. I learned that term from one of my partners. Matter of fact, my partner Derek
mhm.
that word, you know what I'm saying, who's in the side pocket in prison. So yeah, that's what mine would be. Trust me, man, because this has been a many times, man, that I just wanted to pretty much be like, hey man, forget this. You know what I'm saying? Because again, especially when I pretty much got up to the point where I had 3 trucks, man, and when those truck bills come knocking, bro, like I mean, like you would have a driver in all the way in Pennsylvania or something like that and call you and say, man, transmission that went out. I have it towed over to a spot and they say they want $8,000.
Ooh,
You know what I'm saying? Or one time, man, I had a driver think he was in Virginia or something like that, doing a bad weather storm or something. He was going up here, and I probably just shouldn't have hired him anyway. But anyway, going up a hill to a receiver, you know what I'm saying? Just happened to be a little hill. Didn't put enough gas in the thing, so he going up the hill. Of course, the fuel then kind of ran away from the fuel tank or whatever, right? So he wasn't able to make it up here. They end up towing him. I would say maybe less than 5 miles away. They wanted $14,000 because the weather was bad.
oh my God.
Paid 12,000 for the truck.
Wow. More for the than for the truck.
They wanted 14 grand. I ended up calling everybody. I ended up calling the local police. I was like, yo, this got to be illegal. They was like, we know exactly who you pretty much the company you're talking about. I want to say they called it like a something about the state was like a I don't know if the Commonwealth or whatever it was, man. They was like, ain't nothing you can do about it.
Wow. Yeah, price
Yeah, man.
gouging. But you
Yeah, man. Yeah,
listen
it was
to
rough.
maybe I shouldn't have hired them. It makes me think back to that quote I made about DMX. Bad decision.
That's
This
exactly what it was. That's
it-
exactly what it was. I was at the beginning thirsty for the money, just looking for a driver. You know what I'm saying? Because, bro, you could have like you had the fuel card in your pocket. Just put some gas in the thing, man.
bad
Like,
decision.
yeah, man. Yeah,
Um,
man. So it is what it is, man. But again, that's about learning. How you learn, man. Like so, as I get older, man, I can feel myself getting wiser and
mhm,
accepting
mhm.
the bad things, quote unquote, as just learning experiences, man.
That's right.
Learning experiences, man. Like you said, man, you know the old term, like you mentioned, like your grandparents, Like my mom, and I'm sure you've heard this too. You know what I'm saying? When they say everything works out to the good.
Yep.
And as I get older, I'm starting to realize that. Now, of course, it's hard to see when you're going through it.
That's right.
But bro, when you come out, you look back, you be like, yo, I'm glad it worked out this way because this, that, yada, yada. Bro, like everything worked out to the good, man.
It's all the way back to the penitentiary. If we think about it, that was hell living in the
That's
penitentiary.
that's what I'm saying, man. And listen, but let's imagine if we didn't have that right there. We wouldn't even be having this conversation for somebody else to listen to.
That's
You
right.
know what I'm saying? We wouldn't even have this lived experiences. We wouldn't
Right.
have none of that stuff, man.
That's
So
right.
everything, and who knows how many other opportunities that are gonna come just because we've had those penitentiary experiences.
That's right.
You
And
may end up with a Breakfast Club deal. Charlamagne might call you tomorrow.
you never knew, man.
You know
But
he got 200 million. He got at least 10 for you. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
right, that's right. But we definitely want to bless other people's lives, and that's why I do this right here, man, with the hopes of blessing other people's lives, dropping seeds on other people who are listening, who may not think that there is a pathway towards success post incarceration.
Right.
So listening to your story, listening to my story, and the stories of countless other guests I've had on here, we're shining light on the potential pathways towards success post incarceration.
Right.
So with that, brother, I'm going to say that's a wrap. And thank you for joining me on this
No
platform,
problem, brother.
Promise Podcast.
Brother, I appreciate it.
I appreciate you too, brother. Stay safe out there. Stay warm.
Okay, brother. Have a good one.
Thanks. Peace.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for hanging out with me for another episode of the Prison to Promise podcast. If you or someone you know would like to share their Prison to Promise story on this platform, please hit me up at drcraigwaleed@gmail.com. I'll spell it for you. That's drcraigwaleed@gmail.com. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.